In Gambia, things have not been optimal, especially from people from the West. I ain't talking about the West Coast, I'm talking about Western worlds, and most notably the United States and the United Kingdom. In the last 3 months, we've had 2 deaths, Anja Africa, who I believe was from New York City, and then we had Shakina Chinidu, who was from the UK. Both of these ladies died. One of them, we believe, may have been poisoned, the other one was killed. And so now the question is Gambia safe for African Americans, or is it safer than America? Rewind! Now again, we're using this particular topic in terms of single women. In this context, we're talking about African Americans leaving the United States to come to Africa. Are you gonna experience the same violence that you may experience in St. Louis, Chicago, or Philadelphia? Now, let's go back to the original premise where we're talking about Gambia in the first place. Some of us brothers like me in Search for a Who were saying, listen, if you're a single woman in Africa, don't come to any country by yourself. Let's check the clip out.
It's unfortunate what happened, but I want to share this with the women. This is specifically for the women, okay? And please do not take this the wrong way. I am not being misogynistic, however you say the word, but we just got to have an honest conversation here, okay? And especially when it comes to the Gambia, but really when it comes to a lot of other African countries, but specifically when it comes to the Gambia. This is going to be my advice moving forward, because in the past, I want to say 6 months, we've had 5 or 6 expats, women, who have met their demise under very, very weird circumstances. When it comes to the Gambia, all right, this is my advice. If you are a single woman, don't go. Don't move there. All right. If you're a single woman, do not move to the Gambia as a single woman, period.
That was just a warning, and many black women took it offensively. I saw so many comments saying that I was a misogynist or that Brother Diasporans Beware wasn't a misogynist, but it wasn't like you were going to get killed in Africa. That's not what we're saying. We were saying that there are elements of, people taking advantage of you, or you getting with the wrong person, and life being much more difficult for you, because over in Africa, you do need people. I know it's a continent, but Gambia, Uganda, our places like that, you need a lot of community around you to do things. So it's the best thing to be attached to a man. It's the way this part of the world works. Not that somebody's gonna come and kidnap you or beat you in the middle of the night. We're not talking about that. But we could just say that based on how you like to live life in the West, then you could face certain challenges that you don't think are dangerous, that are damn sure dangerous if you're not really paying attention to your environment. I believe that is what I'm trying to say. Brother Diasporans Beware made this video and he was saying, listen, Gambia is still safer than the rest of America. Let's check it out.
Rest in peace to Sister Shakina Chinidu and everyone else who has passed away, unfortunately, in the Gambia. But the reality is, this is the reality. Even though what happened to Sister Chinidu was terrible, and I'm happy that justice has been served, they have found the killers, Gambia is still safer than the majority of U.S. cities, okay? It is. It's still safer. And let me be specific. It's safer than the majority of cities that brothers and sisters here in America reside in. I'm sorry. It's safer than Atlanta. The whole country of Gambia is safer than Atlanta, safer than Chicago, safer than New York, safer than Houston, safer than Dallas, safer than New Orleans, safer than Oakland, safer than Los Angeles, safer than Compton. It's safer. The whole entire country is still safer. Again, it's unfortunate what happened. It's terrible what happened. They found the killers, but don't allow that to stop you from going to Gambia. Don't allow what happened to stop you from traveling to Africa.
Well, let's see if that's true. Let's just pick any news clipping from the city of Chicago and see what we get.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Just over an hour and a half this morning, police say the same crew robbed 8 different people in 8 different locations, all within blocks of one another.
CBS 2's Sabrina Franza is trying to get to the bottom of what happened and who these people are. She's in Logan Square tonight with new details on the investigation.
What about in Philadelphia?
4 men accused of terrorizing a Philadelphia neighborhood are off the streets today. Authorities said they have arrested members of an alleged organized crime ring behind 5 shootings back in 2021. It is Tuesday afternoon. I'm Brian Taft.
And I'm Sarah Bloomquist. The big story on Action News, the arrests announced today by the district attorney's office. Authorities say their violent actions left 2 people dead and several others hurt in Strawberry Mansion.
New York City, anybody?
Tonight, 18-year-old Brian Dowling led into a police car in handcuffs.
Brian, why'd you do it?
Charged with murder with depraved indifference.
Brian, what did you do?
He's accused of killing a 31-year-old man sitting at a bus stop with his girlfriend. They had just left a wedding. That victim was Ryan Carson, a well-known social activist who helped fight poverty and addiction in the community, and authorities say it was a random attack. This surveillance video key to the case, allegedly showing Dowling in the black sweatshirt walking past Carson and his girlfriend, Dowling then allegedly threatening Carson.
Okay, so those 3 different cities in America, all of which are very dangerous. Because let me tell you, danger in Africa is different than danger in America. In America, you can go down any street, anything can just pop off at any moment, and it's danger. A slew of people can be assaulted or be killed at any moment. The same can happen in Africa or most African countries, but it is highly unlikely for most places, all right? And then also, people are saying that because of what's happened to these ladies, I don't want to go to Africa in general. Well, that would almost be like me saying, I don't want to visit Washington, D.C. because it's too dangerous. I don't want to go to Philadelphia because it's too dangerous. I don't want to go to Baltimore because it's too dangerous. Yeah, in fact, these are dangerous cities. All of them are more dangerous than Gambia. But the reality is that we're looking at something that's happening, and we've had 6 deaths in the last a year or so in Gambia of African Americans, and you can get 6 deaths in the city in one night if it's Chicago, if it's Detroit, if it's DC. It can happen all within 2 minutes if it's Philadelphia. The reality is that violence happens anywhere and can happen everywhere. But the thing about being on the continent of Africa is there are certain elements to ways you have to move. And again, where you move is very important. What? I'll tell you right now, I'm not a hater, right? But if you're telling me you want to move to the continent of Africa and you tell me that your choice is Gambia, I'm going to tell you that you shouldn't go there. Sorry, I'm not hating on Gambia. I'm not hating on Gambians. But if you mean to tell me you want to move to Gambia over Kenya or even over another country that might offer you a larger skill set, a larger market, even Uganda, I feel is a better opportunity than that. You know? Yeah, I would tell you that that's probably the wrong place that you can go to. You probably should consider a country that you feel is more forward thinking. Maybe you might want to try Ghana, even South Africa, but Gambia, I would say no. I would definitely tell you, if you have that same amount of money and same amount of drive and you want to meet some more people, you should, number 1, go to Kenya. I'm not in Kenya, I'm in Uganda, I love Uganda, but you should be probably going to Kenya, like nonstop. You probably should be going to Gambia, all right? You probably shouldn't look there because the market is probably too small. You're probably not going to be able to get what you're looking for. You're probably going to want something that reminds you of home. Kenya is probably where you need to go, or a place like that. That would be number 1 for me, all right? But also, you want to pick a place in which you feel like you can have a little bit of expressing yourself. Country like South Africa would do very well if you're a woman and you're a woman that is a business lady. You have a current business in New York City or Philadelphia. You want to experience more of a professional nightlife with a bigger market, a more fast-paced market, a multi-skilled market, a balanced economical market that's multifaceted. You wouldn't pick Gambia. You probably wouldn't even pick Uganda. You would pick South Africa or Kenya. Depends on what you want to do. You can't go to a place like Gambia where you feel like it's cheap and you don't know the customs and you're trying to get Gambians to change to your lifestyle when they're probably not gonna do that. And then folks get upset about that situation. And yeah, that's how violence can happen because your expectations aren't set. Maybe you're talking to a person in a way they feel is rude. Maybe you're pissing somebody off and you don't know it or you just don't care. And then that's how those situations happen. But I don't think that these situations should stop you from wanting to come to the continent of Africa. And that is a situation. All Black people should be interested in Africa. Want to know why? Because the better Africa does, the better that you do. The better it looks for all of us. It's a good thing to want to have a relationship with an African country. Even if you don't want to live here, it's great to have. I'm an American. I came to Africa 2017 in Uganda. I've been here off and on going on 7 years. Best decision I ever made in my life. Not gonna tell you that it was easy, because hell no it wasn't. It ain't easy now. The power right now can go out at any goddamn moment. And I'm here stuck talking to you as I record this whole thing all over. And yes, you might get scammed. And yes, you might get lied to. And yes, somebody might break your finger trying to steal your phone like they did me last month. But all in all, I would not replace this particular journey for anything. It's the greatest thing I've ever achieved. You're talking to a person that went to medical school. I would hate for you. And I graduated, by the way, so, stop the show. Yeah, and I graduated, by the way. So, but still, that was not my greatest accomplishment. My greatest accomplishment was coming into Africa and trying to get my feet wet and actually doing something on the continent. And I want that for you. It just takes some preparation and hard work. Now, once the Gambia shows me and other people, and I've never been there before, that they have a little bit more opportunities for the diaspora, I would want, somebody to check it out. But I just haven't heard anything great from it. So what I would tell you is, hey, if you're a lady and you want to dress a little bit more provocative, you want to go out night on the town, you want to be more independent, don't go to Gambia, go to Nairobi. Go to Johannesburg, where you can live in Santa in a gated community. All right, you're probably better off in a more progressive place like that. Cape Town is where you need to be. Maybe even Gaborone, Botswana. You don't want to be in Banjo, Gambia with that attitude and mindset, honey. It's just not going to work out. And the situation is unfortunate, but don't let it stop you from coming to Africa. Yes, most American cities are much more dangerous than Gambia, and he's right. However, it can be dangerous here if you're not following protocol. You got to sacrifice, and you must change your attitude, and you must change your position in order to stay here. It's just not women, it's men too. I gotta change the way I look at the world. I gotta change the way I see people. I gotta change the way I do things if I wanna stay here and live and survive. Doesn't mean that it's dangerous, but hell, if I go outside at 11 o'clock at night by myself and the right folks get me, out of here, just like anywhere else. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shooter Jackson, back at it again with an episode of Fair Use. I'm out.